22-year-old Giulia was a biomedical engineering major at the University of Padua. Just days before she was set to graduate, she vanished. At first, she was thought to have run away with ex-boyfriend and classmate Filippo Turetta.
At the beginning, the media was talking about two young sweethearts who, were on the run. Of course, the people who work on gender violence knew, unfortunately, that the ending was not going to be a happy one.
CCTV emerged, showing a horrific attack. Turetta, also 22, beat Giulia and reportedly stabbed her more than 20 times.
Hola, mis amores, ¿cómo están? ¿Cómo están haciendo? Espero que estén teniendo un muy buen día y también un muy buen fin de semana. Si están haciendo algunas cosas interesantes, déjenme saber lo que van a estar haciendo en los comments below. Hi, my loves, how are you? Hope you're having a good day and a really good weekend as well. So I'm back with another video, and this is a little bit more of educational content and also real world dropping news. Okay, so as you probably already know, if you've watched my videos and kind of know and have an idea of what the channel is about, underneath the description of every video, I leave a link. Okay, I leave a link to an official research article and research paper that gives us evidence and facts as to the fact that the United Nations, the United Nations has actually made it a worldwide crisis, the rate at which males unalive women today. Okay, so this is actually a worldwide crisis, the rate at which males unalive women today, right? Femicide is actually a worldwide crisis, y'all. That means every single day and every single minute there is a male that's unaliving a woman. When I talk about this topic, it makes me it pisses me off beyond belief. Like I get like even now talking about it, like I'm having to like breathe and just like try to stay calm so I can actually make the video and talk about it. But it almost feels like my hate for males, I hate to say it, but my not even hate, but just my incredible dislike and distrust of males just grows and grows and grows exponentially every time I hear this happening and actually getting worse. So we've had yet another case that has actually sparked a whole protest. It has sparked a whole protest from happening that has now intensified, actually, because the protest, I believe, was already going, and now it's 10 times worse because we've now heard and it's come to our attention that yet another male has unalived a woman yet again. So let's go ahead and watch this on the news. This just came up. I think it's from this morning, literally. That this just came up on ABC News Live. So let's go ahead and take a look here.
There has been a steady uptick in chants, marches, and protests, activism in Italy after yet another woman was killed at the hands of a former lover. 2023 marks the third consecutive year of more than 100 femicides in Italy. That's a murder of a woman by a man. And this particular case has created a firestorm with reaction from the country's prime minister to the Pope himself, all pleading for the men in the country to change their ways as new laws are implemented to try to do just that. But will it be enough to save lives? Our Maggie Rulli takes us to Rome and tackles the issue that's ignited a movement.
Mia figlia Giulia era proprio come l'avete conosciuta, una giovane donna, straordinaria, allegra e vivace, mai sazia di imparare. Come può accadere tutto questo? Com'è potuto accadere a Giulia?
In Italy, women across generations together pleading for a change. The name of Giulia Cecchettin, called a mid-chance, written on posters, a stranger whose death feels familiar. Giulia's killing at the hands of her ex-boyfriend, one more woman killed by a man she knew.
Go ahead and smash that like button for me. Go ahead and smash that subscribe button for me, all right? And leave it in the comments below. Let me know what you think about this particular issue. And I'll
22-year-old Giulia was a biomedical engineering major at the University of Padua. Just days before she was set to graduate, she vanished. At first, she was thought to have run away with ex-boyfriend and classmate Filippo Turetta.
At the beginning, the media was talking about two young sweethearts who, were on the run. Of course, the people who work on gender violence knew, unfortunately, that the ending was not going to be a happy one.
CCTV emerged, showing a horrific attack. Turetta, also 22, beat Giulia and reportedly stabbed her more than 20 times. After a search that lasted days, her body was found at the bottom of a ditch near Lake Barchas, wrapped in black plastic bags. After a week-long manhunt, Turetta was arrested in Germany and extradited to Italy. Now at a prison in Verona, Turetta's attorney told ABC News that Turetta confessed to killing Giulia. He has not yet been formally charged, and the investigation is ongoing. At Giulia's funeral, more than 10,000 people came to pay their respects, packing the cathedral, thousands spilling out into the piazza.
Giulia era una ragazza molto giovane con una rete sociale importante che stava per laurearsi, non veniva da una famiglia con particolari disagi, così come il Turetta non aveva precedenti penali, non viene raccontato come un ragazzo dal comportamento comunque allarmante.
Ariana Gentili is in charge of an anti-violence hotline managed by the feminist NGO Differenza Donna.
Ci raccontiamo che chi ha subito violenza deve appartenere per qualche caratteristica ad un mondo diverso dal nostro. E invece Giulia Cecchettin, così come l'autore del reato, sono due ragazzi comuni. Ci ha messo di fronte alla realtà e al fatto che la violenza invece accade a tutti.
Nessun problema.
Since Giulia's case was made public, they say incoming calls have doubled.
Ma sono aumentate tantissimo le telefonate di ragazze che potrebbero essere coetanei di Giulia che si riconoscono, ma di genitori, soprattutto madri.
A woman is killed every 3 days in Italy, according to data from the Italian Interior Ministry. 110 women have been murdered this year alone, more than half of them allegedly by a partner or ex-partner, according to the ministry.
Ci siamo anche raccontati che le nuove generazioni avessero raggiunto un livello di rispetto e di parità maggiore delle generazioni più grandi. Invece questo ci ha fatto vedere quanto nelle nuove generazioni ancora ci sia questo tipo di dispotere, quanto la cultura patriarcale sia ancora radicata.
According to the UN, nearly 89,000 women were killed globally in 2022, the highest number recorded in the past 2 decades. Half of them at the hands of their partners or family members. And while homicides globally are decreasing, femicides are not. In many other developed countries, femicides are not even codified into law.
The Italian law does not recognize femicide as a crime. Femicide is something that is used as a cultural way to frame the problem. It is not used in courts because the law calls them in another way. It calls them like killing of women by the hand of a man.
But after Giulia's killing, the Italian parliament approved new legislation that would strengthen measures against gender violence.
La vicenda di Giulia Cecchettin è uno di quei momenti, io spero, di svolta proprio culturale di un paese che ha aperto gli occhi all'improvviso. Sicuramente identificare meglio il femminicidio ci aiuterebbe nella valutazione, nella raccolta dei dati, una sistematica raccolta di tutti questi dati che ci permetterebbe poi di analizzare meglio anche il fenomeno, per poi mettere in campo delle politiche pubbliche di prevenzione.
This young woman's heartbreaking story sparking a broader conversation on violence against women around the world.
Mi rivolgo per primo agli uomini, perché noi per primi dovremo dimostrare di essere agenti di cambiamento contro la violenza di genere. Parliamo agli altri maschi che conosciamo, sfidando la cultura che tende a minimizzare la violenza da parte di uomini apparentemente normali. Dovremo essere attivamente coinvolti, sfidando la diffusione di responsabilità, ascoltando le donne e non girando la testa di fronte ai segnali di violenza, anche i più lievi.
The hope there that all the concern will spark change. Our thanks to Maggie for that.
So, y'all, this is why I don't even have the words, okay? It is literally a global crisis. The rate at which males unalive women, it's a very, very serious issue. And this is why I keep encouraging you and telling you just to leave these males alone, because I honestly, even in my field, even being a PhD in my field of psychology, I do not see any saving of these males. I don't see a way to save them. I don't. They are, honestly, out of all the research and articles that I've read painfully, especially through my degrees, I have yet to see a species that's more vile and hateful than the male species. I have yet to see it. The male species is like, it's just one of the worst species that I have ever seen till this day, to date. And they are incredibly jealous. They're incredibly jealous of the woman. There are biological reasons as to why that is, okay? And there are a lot of psychological reasons as to why that is. Every child that's conceived starts out as XX with XX chromosomes. So every child starts out as being a woman. And I'm starting to be of the belief that the manipulation occurs. There's a manipulation that occurs, a disturbance that occurs, and that's how the male, the XY chromosome, arises from the natural XX chromosome. And I honestly, there's no way that this hate for women doesn't boil down to even that biological concept, that self-hate that males have, because they hate themselves so much and they take that anger out on women. They project it on women. They have no purpose. So males literally have no purpose on earth. They literally have no purpose in society. They don't have any purpose to Mother Nature herself. Vile and violent. That's it. That's all they're good for. Any wars, even wars across countries that we've ever had, that we'd ever had to go through, perpetuated by males. They are the ones that initiate these wars. They are the ones that initiate this fighting. And then they try to come back here, right, and say, well, who's going to fight these wars for you? Well, like if we had no males on Earth, we wouldn't have these problems. We wouldn't have these problems. We wouldn't really have a need for weapons and guns. The reason we need those things is because of this very, very severe problem when it comes to males. They cannot be helped. I don't see a way of saving them. As a matter of fact, when you try to hold them accountable and try to tell them, hey, how can you be treating a human being in this way? How can you be treating a woman in this way, right? They become even more vile and even more violent. They start insulting you even more. They start trying to degrade you even more. That's why I've made the choice, okay, to keep males out of my channel completely. Because I've noticed that even letting one male in on my channel, it's like a hyena call to the rest of the degenerate males. It's like it attracts the rest of their species, even just one of them. So it is literally a world crisis. It's very serious. And most of the time, the ACCROSS and the unaliving happens by a male that you know, or that you're close to, or that you date, or that you've dated. And even women that, I feel sorry for women that give birth to males, because these males that women are giving birth to, they don't stand a chance. Males are just naturally filled with a lot of hate, and they don't, they even treat each other that way. Like, we see it even in the entertainment industry, because the masses can see the entertainment industry. It's really just a breakdown of what happens every day in the general public. Okay. They even treat each other that way. They assuce each other. They give each other all type of germs, diseases, like they force each other into all type of sexual things. Like, it's insane. So the problem, as I continue to see it, and it's unavoidable at this point, the problem is males. And I honestly think that we won't have a choice but to get to a point where we're not giving birth to males anymore, because society cannot function and continue to function in this way. Did you hear what she said? She said that even though a lot of different types of unalivings have reduced in numbers, a lot of different types of deaths have reduced in numbers, femicide has not. Gender violence and women being unalived by males has yet to reduce in numbers. Even the Pope had to get involved, and we all know that, I'm not even going to get into that societal structure and how that is part of the problem. The Pope and the church propagating this idea of the patriarchy. Very, very big fundamental part of the issue. So I'm not even going to get into that. But everything else has somewhat reduced. And the one thing that hasn't reduced, that hasn't gotten better, is the rate at which males assuce and unalive women. I mean, this kid literally stabbed her 21 times and beat the crap out of her before doing that. Ladies, it's not worth it. And this is the world you are saying that you want to bring a child into. A world that literally hates women. And again, if you gave birth to a male, I feel sorry for you, because I don't see a way that they'll ever turn out to be anything useful or worthwhile to Mother Nature herself. I just don't see it happening. Okay, you can do everything in your power to try to raise them right. You can do everything in your power to try to show them the way, but there's only so much that you can do. Okay, the environment does the rest. When they go out there, society does the rest, and they are going to have to branch out on their own. Genetics does the rest. And again, all males start out with XX chromosome. So these males inherently and subconsciously know that the woman is superior to them. And they are really, really angry and upset about the fact that their genetics somehow got warped in the process. And now they feel less than. They feel subpar, because they know that they do not bring any value on God's green earth. There is no value that you bring. But violence, but insults, all of this atrocious, vile, disgusting behaviors. Ladies, live your life in peace. Find purpose in different things that you enjoy doing. Find the path towards leaving your legacy, your mark, okay? And stay away from all these males. I even go as far as saying, if you insist on having a male around you, don't live with them. Not in 2023. You can't afford to take that risk. You see all these women speaking out. It's always been happening. It's just now that we're getting enough rights to where we're standing up for ourselves, because it's out of control. The males are out of control. And because of the internet, we're also able to all share our stories. But these males have forever been this way. They have forever been hateful. They have forever been vile. And in 2023, they are even more out of control. They feel even more helpless than usual. They feel even more less than usual. See, this was a smart young woman. In school, social engineering, like, I don't even know what that field does. Super high level, fancy sounding. Like, this is a woman with such a future ahead of her. And it's obvious. It's obvious how jealous this male was of her. Then you have, I got to make another video on this, Tyler Perry. He got dragged for this. And now there's more accusations coming up against Tyler Perry that he's actually, been assaulting males behind closed doors as well. That just dropped yesterday. But then you have people like Tyler Perry telling Black women that they should accept a male even if he can't do anything for her and all he can do is pay the light bill. Women, we are the lowest, Black women are the lowest socioeconomically, okay? In the US, African American women, I should say. Okay. But you don't have to be. Black women, it breaks my heart because you're so hardworking. You're so hardworking. You have 2-3 jobs. Most of the time you're doing what you got to do, taking care of your environment, and then you let a male in. You let the devil in your house, in your space. And then you start wondering why everything started to crumble right in front of you. When you literally let the devil walk right in to your space. I am convinced that males have to be the embodiment of evil. The more I see these stories, the more convinced I get. Keep them away from your space. Have your own house, have your own stuff, and don't spend a lot of time with them. If you insist, okay? Few hours one day a week is already plenty. Not few hours a day. Few hours one day per week is already too many. So y'all, let me know in the comments below what you think about this particular subject. More videos to come, especially educational content. I have a video that I made, I'm still editing it, on finding purpose, especially for married women that have gotten themselves, stuck in this position because they were lied to. And then you get married and you figure out, okay, it's worse than when I was single because now I'm married and I'm stuck here. I'm not free. I can't do what I want to do. And on top of that, a lot of them have kids. They lied to me. A lot of women are in this position. So I'm editing that video on how to, how the beginning steps that married women can take in trying to find their purpose. Okay. But I already have another video on how to find your purpose posted on here. So I'll try to see if I can find that link and link it to this video. But go ahead and smash that like button for me. Go ahead and smash that subscribe button for me. All right. And leave it in the comments below. Let me know what you think about this particular issue. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.